Today we will start properties of air, as we have completed whatever the composition of air and why it is essential, the layers of the air, we have completed this. Now we will start the properties of air, and first of all the properties of air, first of all you will see I hope now you can see the board as well as to me. Now yes, good afternoon everybody. Okay, so the first property we will see, actually everywhere is air, we know this is the first property. So we can see everywhere is air, but somewhere we cannot see the air. For that reason, that if we are seeing an empty glass, that means that is not empty, there is nothing as such empty, so it is full of air. So in a first case, one experiment is given here. So if we just try to insert this empty glass, but it should be straight inverted. So when we will try to just pour the glass or insert the glass within this tumbler which is full of water, so it will not go. Why it will not go? Because inside the glass there is air which will create a pressure, and that pressure do not allow the water molecules to go inside the glass. Okay, so it is the air pressure, or due to the presence of the air, this glass is actually, empty glass is full of air, so it will not allow water to go inside the glass, it will prevent. So the air pressure prevent the water to enter inside the glass. But if we tilted the glass little bit, then what will happen? The air will started to come out, and as the air bubble, you can see in the water tumbler, the air bubbles come out and they make a sound also, bud 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 bud, and then it comes out, air bubbles come out, and then after coming out of the air bubbles, you will see the water is starting to filling the glass, and after tilting the glass, when we are tilting the glass, air bubble will come go out from the glass, and the water will started to going inside the glass. So air bubbles come out when we will tilt the glass, and then we will empty the glass. So we will, now we are just excreting, or we are just giving out, the glass is giving out the air bubble, and in the place of this air bubble or the air, now the water enter inside the glass. So this is the first property. What is that? Air occupies space. So this property is actually air occupies space. So no one, nowhere, no place is actually no place is actually empty, or you can say it is a vacant place, because everywhere it is air, unless and until we are driven out the air from that thing or from that place. Okay. Now the second experiment, or the second activity is again given here. This property is actually air has some weight. So again we are seeing two inflated balloon. Inflated balloon means the air is filled with the balloon. So within these both balloon, maybe they are same size, they are air filled, and when we are balancing, that time we will see the both balancing, I mean these both kata, they will show the accurate place, and there will be no deflection of the deflection, it will erect straight, there will be no deflection for the weight. So it will be just balanced. So here we can see air filled two balloon, they are balancing. So why they are balancing the stick? Because they both are having the same weight, because they are occupying the same amount of air. Now in the second case, we are pricking one of the balloon. As we are pricking one of the balloon, that means the air will started to go out, isn't it? When we are pricking, so the air always try to go out. They are very fast in the movement, their molecules always try to go out. So they try to go out and the air will started to going out from this pricked balloon or the balloon which we have been burst. So it will become, air will go out from the one balloon and one will intact as inflaton. Next you will see the third, as the air has been gone out, so now this balloon will become flaccid condition, there will be no air within this balloon, and the another side of the stick there was another balloon that was full of air, so it will tilted towards the down towards, because it will become lighter. So this part will become the lighter part. So it will become the lighter part and this will become the heavier part, isn't it? So it will become the heavier part, because why? Because air has some weight, that's why this full of air balloon will gain the more weight and it will tilt it towards. So maybe it is little bit, but the way this kind of experiment, this kind of activity will show that air has some weight. So what is the second property? I am seeing 2, that means you are seeing me 2 times. Okay. Now the third, so this property, what is this property? Air has some weight. So this is the property. Second property is air has mass, you can say air has mass. So mass means it will become weighty or heavier. Now the third property, air exerts pressure. So I will show you here in the glasses. First of all, we are just pouring the water in the glass. Second, if the glass should be filled up to the brim, that means there will be no air bubble, there will be no air will left in the glass. Each and every part of the glass should be filled with the water, and this water we will put one cardboard on it and quickly we will just make it upside down. So if the glass is there, we have to make the glass inverted or upside down. So when we will make the upside down glass, you will see the cardboard will just intact with the glass, it will not fall down. Okay, anybody can tell me why it will not fall down? Can anybody can tell me why the water will not fall down from the glass? Are you hearing me? Is it anybody can tell me that? Yes, then tell Archishman, because it is exerting pressure. Which one is exerting pressure? If the cardboard is here and the glass, you can see the glass it is full of water. Okay. So we make it upside down, and now this is on the cardboard. Now air which is outside of this cardboard, it will exert the pressure from all the side. As from all the side which air is outside of the cardboard, or which is the air is just pushing it back towards the glass from the under of the glass and sides of the glass, they will give one pressure. So this pressure is against the glass, and this pressure will keep the cardboard intact with the glass. So it will not fall down. Understood? So Archishman is correct. It is a air pressure, but from which place it will just exert on this cardboard? It will from the downside. It will air will exert a pressure. It will apply a pressure on this cardboard, and as a result, cardboard will be stick on the glass. So the third, what is the third property of the air? Air exerts pressure, isn't it? So the third Property is air exerts pressure. Air always exerts the pressure. Now, but you have to do this experiment or activity very carefully, because if any air bubble or the part of the class is being left with the air, then the water will fall on you, isn't it? So, it should be do very quickly and very cautiously, isn't it? So, now the next one is, yes, it is the air pressure. It will exert the air pressure. Very good. Again, Orchishman has given the answer, and Ms. Baur is also giving the answer. Now, fourth is air can be compressed. We know air is a gas. What is air? Air is a gas, mixture of gases is called air. So, air, you know the molecular arrangement. What is the molecular arrangement of the air? The molecules are away from each other. They are not attaching to each other. They don't have any force of attraction. They always try to get out from the vessel. They always try to just go towards the wall of pressure. So, they are having lots of spaces. In between the molecule, there are lots of spaces. So, empty place can be, if suppose this is the empty bottle, so there may be air within this bottle. There is air. The lower part is filled with water, but the upper part is just there is nothing. There is nothing means there is air. So, when we are pressing, we can press the bottle little bit. Why we can press the water little bit? How much air is present there, they will keep their mass, but whatever as the air molecules are away from each other, they are having the intermolecular spaces. So, we can press the air, or anything which is filled with the air, that thing, maybe it is a football, maybe it is a ball, maybe it is a balloon, we can press it little bit, because air, we can compress the air. So, fourth property, we can say air can be compressed, isn't it? So, the fourth property is there. Fourth property is air can be compressed. Air can be compressed. Now, next one is air extend on heating and contracts on cooling. So, what is this? Fifth property, air extends or expands. You can say extends or expands is the same thing. On air expands on heating and contracts on cooling. When I was taking the chapter liquid, solid and gas, that time I have explained you. As we know, air is expanding when we are you have seen it when we some vessel, maybe it is empty and little bit water is there, that time when we just heat this, so you will feel the steam comes out or the water vapor comes out. So, air is always on heating, they expand, they try to escape from their vessel, and they try to escape, they try to get out from the vessel. But when we cool this, just like in the winters, so the air become on cooling, they contract. The air comes together, the molecules comes together if we are if we are cooling them. So, there will be one example is also there, hydrogenation of the or the carbonization of the cold drinks. When we are making the cold drink like whatever thumbs up and anything, that time by cooling we are just putting the carbon dioxide in a good amount or in a fair amount, and when we are releasing it, it goes up. That's why it is suggested, so that the air do not get out from your bottle, it is suggested always keep the cold drinks in the refrigerator, so it will become intact, and air will not come out, or the taste will be intact with the, or you can say the jhaj, whatever you feel, that will be intact in the cold drinks if it is being kept in the refrigerator. Okay, so air on cooling, they are being summarized, they are being on cooling they are compressed, and when we are heating the air, they comes out and they try to escape from the vessel. Okay, so air explained on heating and context on cooling. Yes, everybody has written the correct answer. Now that yes, write your Orchishman. Don't write same thing again and again. Okay. Now we will these were the property. So we come to know what are the properties. We come to know air has some mass, and the first one, air occupies a space, and third one is air exert pressure, and then last one is fourth one is air can be compressed, and fifth one is air expands on heating and contracts on cooling. So these all are the properties, you have to learn them. So these all are the property. Now importance of the air pressure. So importance of the air pressure, actually air pressure is very important. You can understand it by this. When you drink something with the straw, that time at first whatever we suck, that is air, no? Very first the juice do not come inside our mouth, but after that it started to come. So juice is within the glass, and they just travel the straw and comes to our mouth. So why, how does it happen? As if we see one straw, so it has some length, no, and it is within the juice. Suppose it is a glass and there is some juice. Okay, so the juice is here, and how it will go, how it will travel the long way, because at first the air is here, isn't it? So the air is within the straw. When we are sucking the air, it will become vacant, and when once it will become vacant, so the pressure which is outside the juice, they press the juice or the level of the juice, and they started to enter inside this straw, and in this way they comes to our mouth. So this is the way air pressure works. So air pressure help in everyday life, in filling up a syringe, fountain pen, drinking with a straw, or using dropper. When you drink juice with a straw, the air inside the straw is removed while sucking. So at first when we are sucking from this straw, at first we are emptying or we are emptying this air. When once air go out, then the air which is outside of this juice, which is outside, they just give the pressure on this juice, and they will start to come within this straw to our mouth. Okay, so the air pressure is very important. Have you seen any time dropper? At first what we can do, at first we have to push the plunger, isn't it? And the have you seen the dropper? Dropper is like this, no? They are having a small airy place here, and this is one. You can see from here we dip the drink. So at first we press this. We are pressing the upper part of the stopper. That means we are just excreting out the air from this stopper, or the you can say we can just taking out the drop from this dropper. We are just giving out the air, or we are just excreting out the air from this dropper. Once this dropper is emptied, then when you will put inside the ink pot, when you put the this stopper, or when you are putting this within this ink, this is the dropper. At first we will press it, and then we will empty the air within this, and once the dropper is become emptied, it will start to, then the air will be pressurize the ink and ink will started to filling the dropper. Okay, so this is the way we are filling the dropper, and we are filling any kind of medicine also. When we try to give some drops of drops of any medicine inside our eye or mouth or anywhere, that time we use dropper. So what is the process? At first we press the upper part, the air which is present inside the dropper, they go out, and then it will start to filling the liquid, whatever the medicine or whatever the liquid is there, we can easily fill it. Okay, and another example is given here. It is the injection, and you can say this is the syringe. The upper part of the syringe is called the plunger, and this is the plunger, and this one is the syringe part. At first, have you seen anybody, I think every one of you have taken the injection. So at first doctor, what they do, they pull out the plunger. So when they pull out the plunger, that means it is being full with air. Then they push the plunger inside. When they push the plunger, that means all the air present inside the syringe will go out, and then they will start to taking the medicine. So in the medicine there will be no air bubble, and there will be no air will be present in the medicine. So at first they take the full air, and then they push the plunger to empty the syringe portion, and then they use the needle portion for taking any kind of medicine, or they give the injection to a patient. Understood? Any problem? Okay, now these all about the air pressure, and any problem regarding this air pressure you can ask me. Do you have any kind of problem? Okay, understood. Very good. Now we will talk about the water. As we know, all organisms need water. We also need water. We know 65 to 70% of our body is made up of water, and 3/4 of our earth's surface is covered with water. Only 3% of water is drinkable, or you can say potable water, which we can use fresh water as for our drinking purpose. Now about 97% of water is in the ocean, and it contains salt and cannot used for drinking. Now there are other than drinking, what are the 3 other uses? Write fast so I can come to know. Oh, Swastika, you can ask your doubt. What kind of doubt you have, you ask me. But at first write down some uses of water other than drinking. And Srijan, you can write your problem or doubt. Whatever your doubt, you write down. I will try to explain that. Bathing, washing, very good. So why you have written? No, ma'am, I have a doubt. Who has written? Yes, Swastika has written, no? So whatever your doubt, you can clear it. Now, bathing, washing, cleaning. Yes, anything you can write. Very good. Who has given the answer? Shohini has given, Orchishman has given. So many persons are giving. So cooking is a function or is a work you can do with the water. Except drinking, there are so many. Gardening, washing, cleaning, cooking. You can write anything. So you write down of your own. 3 uses, you can write down your own. Okay, now we get water from the river, pond, lake and rain. We also get water from the ground by using wells, hand pump, etc. The water in the river, pond and lake is not pure. Why they are not pure? Because suspended and whatever soluble impurities are within the water. Many things like dirt, mud and germs are mixed with the water and make the water unfit to use. The substances that make the water unfit for use is called the impurities. So whatever which is not the composition of water. What is the composition of water? Oxygen is there, hydrogen is there, along with some of the soluble salt and inorganic minerals are there, isn't it? But if except this composition, if anything mixes with the water, that is a impurity. Okay, so what is impurity? Which is extra thing present in the water, that is called impurity of the water. And there are two type of impurity, one is soluble, another one is insoluble. So you know what is soluble, which just being dissolved in the water, they are called the soluble impurities. Which are not being dissolved in the water, they are called insoluble impurities. Soluble impurities, like the impurities that get dissolved in the water, are called soluble impurities. For example, salt, potassium and sodium, these all are soluble impurities which are generally present in the water. And the insoluble properties, which we can see easily, the impurities that do not get dissolved in the water, like for example sand, mud, the dust, anything which is not being dissolved in the water, and we can visualize, we can identify them. These kind of impurities are called insoluble impurities. Okay, so now removal of the impurities from the water I'll take in the next class, but before that, take the correct answer. You will give the answer. Okay, what percent of the total water is used for drinking? Yes, very good. Sand, mud, except sand and mud. Slurry is there, sewage is there, and some kind of pesticides are there. These are also being the part of the impurities right now. Okay, yes, this is the yes, Orchishman has given the correct answer is 3%. Now second one is air dash on heating. So what would be the answer? Air contract or expense or remain the same? 8. Which one? On heating, it should be expense. Very good. Again, Orchishman and Swastika, they both have given the answer. Right now, your time is getting over, so I have to just stop the class. You go through the video, and the next day I will just complete the chapter. So tomorrow I will take a, not tomorrow, on Monday I will take a offline video to complete your chapter. So go through the whatever the offline videos also, and if you feel any kind of difficulty regarding explanation, regarding your answer, you can ask me in my live class. Okay, thank you and have a nice day. Bye bye, and please give your attendance, kindly give your attendance.